Welcome to the first webinar of UCLan Cyprus, the British University of Cyprus. Today we will have a short webinar which is going to be very helpful for everyone who is watching and for whoever is interested or not interested. We will make you be interested as a step-by-step on the application process and what you can do by yourself in order to collect all the documents needed for the application evaluation. So we will then guide you step by step from the very first thing that you need to do until the very last thing that you will be here at the university. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you all the steps and all the information using our website in order for you to be able to be making notes if needed, and to find all the information on the website, which is going to be easier and you will have access on it much more easier. Of course, you can always contact us via email or via phones. Depending, you will find all the information on the website, so we will see that later as well. And I believe we're ready to start our webinar. My name is Maria and I am the Senior Recruitment Officer. So I hope you will find the webinar as helpful as we want it to be. Okay, so let's start with our website. This is the main website of the university. As you can see, we see the link up here. It's uclancyprus.ac.cy, and you can find all the information here and the method and the way to apply, of course with our help. Before we proceed with the how to apply, I would like you to see a bit and to discuss with you the tools here and the taskbar here with all the information that we need. We have the Discover, we have Study, Live, Research, Collaborate and Connect. And something very interesting on the Discover section is the 10+1 unique advantages of the university. Okay, so here we can see all the reasons why somebody will need to choose UCLan Cyprus. We can see that we have the international accreditation. Our students earn a double degree. This means 2 certificates. Yes, it's 2 certificates, that's true. We get to give our students 1 certificate from UCLan in the UK and 1 from UCLan in Cyprus. And this is offering recognition in Cyprus, across Europe, and of course internationally, Europe and beyond. We need to mention that UCLan is not just a franchise. We are a branch campus of UCLan UK, which is located in Preston. We do have the best schools in Cyprus. I wouldn't say probably, we do have them. It's got to do also with the rankings and the recognition of UCLan, our student mobility, academic excellence, state-of-the-art campus, global reach and employment, student satisfaction, quality accommodation, and the 10+1 reason is that now with the updates and the news regarding the Brexit, we're not affected. So without the financial cost of UK education and cost of living, the UCLan University in Cyprus is considered to be the cost 50% less. Okay, so when we go on the study taskbar, we can see under our programs and courses that we have the undergraduate studies and the postgraduate studies, as well as the distance learning. We will have a quick look. So here is for the undergraduate studies. You can choose which school would you like to apply for. It's either School of Business and Management, or the School of Law, or the School of Sciences. So let's say we choose Business and Management. And then we have all the available undergraduate courses, the bachelors, or as some countries call them, the majors. So if you click on Business Administration, you can visit the course. And here you can find all the information about the course, the modules that you will be doing, the career options, the career prospects, and as well the academic faculty. Now, before I show you this button here, the apply now, it would be good to see our entry requirements. Oh, something I forgot to mention, for any questions that you have, you can of course ask your questions and everything will be answered by the end of the webinar. Okay, here we can see the entry requirements. We can see that we have different requirements, of course, for the undergraduate students and the postgraduate students. The minimum entry requirements for the bachelor students for the undergraduate courses is the high school living certificate or any other equivalent. It depends on the country, so depending on your country, you know the certificate that you're given when you graduate from school, and of course we require knowledge of English language. It's preferable if you already have a proof of English language, like for example the IELTS or IGCSEs, so we can evaluate that supportive document along with your application. Now, for the postgraduate students, we need the above, which is here, the high school living certificate as well as the proof of English language. But of course, we require the bachelor degree or any international equivalent, at least lower second class. If in the country that you have graduated from, your bachelor, the marking system is different and it's not taken as like separated into classes, we will see the equivalent per country. And as I said, we will need the English language qualification. In this case, we need IELTS 6.5 or above for the postgraduate students, and for the undergraduate students, we will need a 5. However, as you can see down here on the important notes, we can see point 3, that for the LLB and the English language studies, which is an undergraduate course, we require a minimum of 5.5. Okay. Now, besides these documents that we ask here, which are the academic qualifications, for the postgraduate students, we will need additional documents, which are the CV, 2 reference letters, a personal statement. However, this is not stated here because the admissions and the recruitment teams will guide you from day one. So, me and the rest of the team will guide you on exactly what we need and what documents we need in order to finalize the evaluation of your application. Now, we can see here that we have the button Apply Now. Okay, so this is one of the ways that you can apply at the university. This can be done online by completing this application from here. If you prefer a more traditional way, let's say, you can always download, you can click here in order to download the form in PDF, which can also be completed electronically. So it's easier for you, no need for printing out, completing it, signing it off, and scanning it again and sending it back to us. So basically you can complete it electronically by downloading it from here, but we require the exact same information. So I prefer to show it to you by using our website, which might be a bit easier for you. So first of all, we have the personal details that you need to complete. We have the surname or family name and the first name here. We clearly state that these will need to be exactly as it's stated on your ID or your passport. In case you misspell it or you write something different, have in mind that we always check this and we cross-check it with your ID or your passport. So you don't have to be stressed about it. If there's any mistake, we always confirm it with you, or we simply write what we see on the passport or your ID, depending on what you provide. Of course, we need a valid email so we can reach you, and we need your permanent address as well as a postcode. Here we have the contact numbers, the phone number, the mobile number. If you have fax, if you want to be contacted by fax, feel free to complete this field here. And here we have the correspondence address in case it's different than the permanent address. Don't forget to always state the international dialing code for us to be able to reach you. And then here we have the further details. This is the form that you need to complete for all the details here, the country of permanent residence, your passport number. These are information that we require for the evaluation. And here is the details for the course that you wish to apply. Okay, so if you're applying for the undergraduate, you will need to choose this one. If you would like to apply for a postgraduate for your master's, then you need to click here. You need to choose the course that you're applying for, the academic year that you're applying for. The next intake is 2021, that's in October, in a few months from now. And then we have full-time, part-time. It's worth mentioning that for any international students, it's a migration regulation that all of the international students will need to be studying full-time. No part-time is allowed. So have in mind that for the international students, we can only accept full-time. Now, here we can see that we have first choice and second choice. You will choose the first course that you would like to apply, and what we mean by second choice is that in case you would like, for any reason, to change, let's say, from BSc Computing to Electrical and Electronic Engineering, the procedure will be easier to change it. You will not be requested to complete an application form again. So it's always good if you have two options. If you're sure that you want to study and you want to do your first choice, you simply choose number 1 and not 2. Here we have the academic semester, January and October. Now, number 4, it has to do with the physical or other disability. For this, you can always discuss it with your advisor if you need any help or if there's something you need to mention, and we evaluate the application normally. Then we do have the qualifications. You will be able to attach some copies here of the documents that we need. So as you see, basically everything can be done online until this stage, and no emails are required up to here. Unless you need some help, of course, we're always available to help you. Here we need the English qualification, any employment, and then coming towards the end, we have the declaration as well as the references for the postgraduate students. So that's the easy form to complete. Okay, as I see, we do have some questions. We will get back to them in a while. Okay. Let's have a look here on this section about the fees and the scholarships. Okay. We can see that the undergraduate students, the bachelor courses cost 8,500 per year. That is the discounted price because the original fee is different. It's 9,950. And for the postgraduate students, it's 8,925 for the entire program. We need to say that for the bachelor's, the undergraduate courses have a duration of 4 years, while the postgraduate courses, it's 1 year, with some exemptions as well on the prices, the tuition fees. For example, the MBA distance learning, it's 6,500, and the MA internship in international tourism, hospitality and event management, again, it's 6,500. We do have the forensic psychology with the practical, even though for this course it's better if we discuss it together regarding the practical. In any case, it's 13,400, and the cybersecurity, which is also offered as distance learning, it's 8,000. The MBA and the MSc cybersecurity are offered both campus-based and distance learning. Below we can see that we do have some athletic scholarships or undergraduate scholarships, like the academic merit-based scholarships. This depends on your high school leaving certificates or on your A-levels. Because yes, even though it wasn't mentioned before on the entry requirements when I showed you this section here, we can accept students with the A-levels, and we will get back to it a bit later. And these are the postgraduate scholarships, with scholarships up to 30%. It's good if you always mention from the beginning of your application process that you would like to be considered for a scholarship, so your advisor will be aware and to guide you correctly by giving you the appropriate forms to complete for you to be considered for a scholarship. Because if we proceed with issuing any offer letters or upon your arrival here or even in the middle of the semester, we may have a difficulty to apply any scholarship in the middle of the year. So have in mind that we need to know this information from the beginning. Okay. So now I will be happy to answer any of your questions. So if there is something I didn't mention, I would like you to feel free and ask your questions. Before we do that, I would also like you to show you, no, wrong, professional stuff here. Okay, so here you can see that you can find the contact details for the admissions in the recruitment team. This is me, Senior Recruitment Officer. My colleague Yannos is the Senior Admissions Officer. And in the team we have Androniki Elena, Antonia Ioannou and Katerina Petru, and we can see here that we have all the contact details that you may need, both emails and phone numbers. Okay, so we can go to the questions now. Okay, starting with the first one. About the LCCI intermediate exam from Alisa. Okay, so Alisa, as I was saying, it's very simple to apply regarding the entry requirements. You do not need A-levels. We need your apolitirio, as we call it in Greek. In Cyprus and in Greece, this is what we give. Apolitirio is a high school leaving certificate. So you only need your apolitirio to be accepted in any course. No need for A-levels if you have the high school leaving certificate. We will need a minimum of 16. However, because sometimes students, especially during the exam period, they tend to be stressed and sometimes they don't do well in their exams, we can always consider any mark which is lower than 16. So feel free to apply, feel free to contact us, inform us about your grade. So we will let you know if you can be accepted. We will always find a solution though, no need to be stressed for your mark. Hold on for a second. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I see here that on the first point, Alisa, you mentioned that you will be passing your IGCSE exams. Okay, have in mind though that You will not be accepted just with your IGCSE exams and your high school leaving certificate. You will need to finish all years of schooling and get your ability on your high school leaving certificate before you apply, because sometimes we get asked this one if they can apply with just their IGCSEs. No, it's not possible, but you can use your IGCSE to apply along with your high school leaving certificate, since we also accept IGCSE English for the university, and we will need a minimum of C as a proof of English language. You are very welcome, Alisa. Okay, so if you have any further questions and you didn't have the chance to ask now, or I didn't mention something, you can always refer on our website. And besides our website, you can always contact us either on the general admissions email or on our personal emails, as I showed you on the website. So this was our first short webinar. I hope it was helpful, and we will be waiting for your questions. Thank you and have a nice afternoon from Cyprus.